This morning is sort of a supplement to my message. We're going to have some images which you could follow over there on the screens. Through fragments of conversations echoing in empty spaces, we piece together a relationship cut short.
You should try it. Seriously. There's a place you can go where you can there's actually live music, there's an instructor.
Do they serve alcohol?
They do serve alcohol.
That would help me get on the dance floor.
It generally does.
I think it would be fun if you were there too, maybe.
Want me to teach you?
Maybe to take me.
I'll take you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Until I know your middle name at least.
Until I know your last name. I don't know your last name. You know that?
I don't know your last name. I know your mother's maiden name, but I don't know your last name.
Do you remember my mother's maiden name?
I know that I can't pronounce it. It sounds like glockenspiel.
I really shouldn't have to go.
You shouldn't have to go on.
Where should I be?
In my bed with me.
In your bed? I like that, yeah. Oh, God.
We're meeting at 7?
7.
To the shade.
Honey, there's no dragonfly.
There was a dragonfly 2 seconds.
You don't know what a dragonfly looks like. I want to go there. Look at that.
Where's
Limnos.
Limnos?
Limnos, the Greek Isles.
Well, we got a lot more room now. Even for this big ass thing. Would you look at this thing? Honey, I painted your rain stick. That's cool, right? See the sun on it, the stars on it. There's actually phases of the moon.
I was very focused.
I will pick them up tomorrow, not today, tomorrow.
Don't yell at me. I asked because somebody needs to pick them up. I asked you yesterday.
I
You
will
didn't do
pick
it
them up
yesterday.
tomorrow. What are you so angry about?
I'm angry because I'm the only person who ever participates in this house.
San Andres, ¿por qué no?
Do it. Go now. Go now before you have kids.
Yes.
Get it out of the way.
Why before we want to travel when we have kids?
Bring them
No.
along.
No, why
Go to
not?
San Andres before you have kids.
Yes.
Little family of diplomats.
Live with a really sore abdomen for another week.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Do you know what test they're gonna do?
No. I have no idea. She just did more tests, and I didn't go into it because I was sure that I wasn't going to understand it anyway. A real comfortability, a real grace, a real poise.
You're serious.
I'm absolutely serious. It made me really proud to be that guy who's your husband. Really proud.
Hey. Well?
Not such good news. They said pretty much the same thing that Dr. Russo said, that it's pretty far advanced. Yeah.
All right. I'm coming to get you. I'm coming to get you, okay? I'll be there in 20 minutes.
Okay.
You're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fine.
Aren't you happy you married a 95-year-old? With all of his pill bottles and his tubes.
I think it's cute.
And his good times.
You can't go very far. I don't have to worry about you running after anybody.
Isn't this incredibly boring for you? I'm so sorry. You're gonna be okay.
A loving, caring, beautiful relationship cut short by death. Isn't it interesting when we say we die, we say that death is unexpected? But is death really all that unexpected? Things terminate. The only permanent fact of life is our impermanence. As we say, the only constant in life are death and taxes. And oh, how we avoid and deny this. I remember some years ago strolling on the beach of Lake Michigan with my brother in Michigan City, and it was a sunny, bright, beautiful day, and the beach was filled with people and lots of activity, and I noticed some young adults cavorting in the waves 50 yards or so from us. At first I didn't notice, but then their loud laughter turned into screams of terror, and a crowd soon gathered. And one of the young women, not 20 yards into the water, gestured wildly and dove repeatedly into the waves. Some in the crowd waded into the water. Within minutes, they moved back to the shore, following a young man holding a lifeless body of his friend. How quickly these things happen. How thin is the line separating us from death and life. Life appears anchored, and then there is that late night phone call and that little spot on the x-ray of our lungs and that slight twitch in our chest. On the second Sunday of Advent, we continue to focus on the coming of Jesus, not only as the babe of Bethlehem, but on that unknown day in the future when Jesus comes again to wrap things up for this world. Today's second reading uses a very startling image to portray this coming day of the Lord. Jesus will come like a thief, unexpected and unannounced. 5 times in the New Testament, the coming of God is compared to the intrusion of a thief. Do you know, most of the time we're attracted to other images of God, aren't we? Like the waiting father, like God, the mother hen who gathers her chicks under her wings, like the good shepherd. But God the thief? I have no good memories of thieves. Many years ago, a thief robbed the church where I was serving in Fort Wayne. Had the gall to do it in the middle of the day when I briefly left the office for lunch. And when I returned, I discovered that our office had been picked clean. No more office equipment. I felt violated, like I had been touched by something dirty. That secure place where I felt so safe would never feel safe again. I have seen some people, after a thief has robbed their home, never able to enter the house again. So we try to protect ourselves from thieves. We never again want to be so violated. Our homes, our cars and businesses, even our churches have security systems. Oh, and we take out life insurance. We buy protection. We have a guard at the door and hide hide behind our electronic security fences. And then it still always seems to happen. The thief. There always seems to be a thief. The thief is a grim reminder of the truth we are always reluctant to face. I mean, who are we kidding? As today's opening video segment so vividly and dramatically reminded us ever so painfully that our life is hanging on by a fragile thread. We and the loved ones we gather around us are temporary residents in a fading world. The things we accumulate, hoard, and insure are decaying, depreciating, and devaluating as I speak, because God comes as a thief in the night. Yes, there are more important, appealing images of God, but few are more truthful. Oh, how we have sanitized the image of God, particularly when we're talking about God to our children. I remember how my children always liked to have me read to them the Bible story about Noah and his ark. Remember all the animals walking up 2 by 2? And the flood? But I never wanted to tell my kids that that story was actually about God destroying the whole world in order to start over. C.S. Lewis once said, "I wonder if people who asked for God to intervene in our world really know what they are asking for. Will they want to be there when God really does intervene?" That is the terrible and frightening truth of Advent. Yes, the end is coming. God is coming like a thief in the night. His coming could be as close as the next hour, the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year, the next decade, the next century, the next millennium, or our next breath. If this world and its things are truly the things in which we have placed our trust, if we think that we are truly secure, insulated, and protected by our security systems and burglar alarms, bank accounts, capital investments, professional and vocational success, if these are the things that make us comfortable and at ease, then we are sitting ducks for the thief in the night. But the message of Advent is not only an ominous warning of what will sneak up on us some night. Yes, Advent surely announces that the end is coming, that this old world and its days are numbered, that the highway is coming to an end. But Advent also announces the coming of a new world, a world where there is no longer any need for security systems or burglar alarms or bank accounts and all those strategies and devices we use to protect our security. For in this new world, no intruder can harm us, and no thief can assault us. Not even death itself can threaten us. In this new world, we are safe and secure, sheltered and protected forever. This new world will be ours when Jesus comes again to judge the living and the dead. His arrival, though surprising, though unexpected, though no one knows the hour of the day, will not be as a thief in the night. Rather, it will be like the blessed arrival of the police or the SWAT team or the EMS just when we thought we were doomed. How can we be sure that this Advent, the second coming, will not terrorize us like a thief in the night, but will be as the blessed dawning of a new day because of the first coming, the first Advent, when God also came unexpectedly, not as a thief in the night, but as a baby born in Bethlehem in a barn. This is the God of whom John the Baptist spoke in his ministry. This God in the flesh dealt with the threats of this world and God's judgment of sin, not by rationalizing them away, but by confronting them head on. Where? On the cross. Here, he suffers them for us. And like a thief in the night, Jesus breaks in and robs death of its power and God's judgment of its terror, and bursting out of his 3-day prison in a glorious resurrection through the gentle arrival of this tiny infant who would become the crucified Messiah. God invites us to come out from behind our locked doors with their security systems and burglar alarms. God invites us to let go of all those things that we think we need to keep ourselves safe and secure. Because of that first advent of Jesus, we can be sure that whenever there is the second advent, whenever that moment is when Jesus comes again, it will not be a time to fear. It will be a time for hope, for peace, for joy and praise. In the meantime, we live between the two advents. So we don't live in a vacuum. God does not leave us to flounder alone in the darkness, uncertain of our faith. God also comes now, in the present moment, in that third advent. He comes now, in this place, at this time, as we gather to read aloud ancient and sacred texts and sing of the Jesse tree, an ancient tradition that reminds us of the family tree of Jesus, a descendant of the kingdom of King David. He comes now as we gather around this table to eat and drink a meal. He comes now as we are washed in the waters of baptism. He comes now in the love of this congregation. He comes now in the poor and broken people of this world whom we get to love. The promise of the season of Advent changes the way we live. Now we can live with a sense of holy detachment. We do not have to fret or worry about the future. We do not have to rely on burglar alarms and security systems or pension funds and bank accounts. We already have all the security we need in the promises of Jesus. That will never get stolen. No thief will ever snatch that from us. As dear old Martin Luther reminds us in that great Reformation hymns, "The mighty fortress is our God," he says. If they, the thieves, take our house, our goods, our fame, our child, or our spouse, wrench our life away, they cannot win the day, because the kingdom is ours forever. Amen.